Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and I'm going to get you guys up on screen instantly in that live chat room to see who is in the house tonight. That's metal, or as my nephews call it, and I did see that in the live chat room before we started, people saying marshmallow or marshmallows. I can't remember exactly what my nephews call it, but that's what they used to sing. But I think they now know that's metal and that they got it wrong and they find it quite funny now. But anyway, apparently that is a Valentine's themed request. I mean, lots of requests over on Patreon to open up the live stream with that. So there you go. I wouldn't necessarily call it Valentine's Day themed, but you know, I don't know, whatever floats your boat. Thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's live stream. Let's have a look. In there we have Bill, Chant of the North, Jody, Vince, people going through too quickly. Tammy, Karen, Billy, Bob's in there as well. Barbara, Bella, Laurie, Robert, Anna, Linda, Rennie. Oh, Susan and Dennis going through there, moderating as well. Big shout out to the moderators as always. Susan and Dennis going through there. Carla, Neil and Laurie. Those are the moderators that you will see in and around the live streams, keeping that live chat room organized and keeping that community feel going. Right. If you want to hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be great, because as with the live streams, if you've seen them before, if you haven't seen them before, welcome, introduce yourself into the live chat room. But we have a goal that we aim for during the live streams, and I'm just trying to think whether this is something that I actually adjusted or not before. There's so many things to do before we go live, and I've just adjusted it there. So it should show up as whatever I just typed in. What did I just type in? 360? Let's have a look. And yes, I did type it in correctly. So 360 is what we're aiming for tonight with those thumbs up. And we'll get the live likes up on screen so we can see that we've got 173 likes so far, which is a good start. And maybe we can get a little spike of the likes going on at the beginning of tonight's live stream. So I can see more people coming through the door. Hello guys, how you doing? Neil moderating in there as well. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place, and their names go across every single live stream that we do on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night. Those are the live stream days, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time as always. So a big shout out to these lovely people at the bottom of the screen. They are the foundation of everything that I do, and just the reason that we can do the analysis videos, the live streams, and just keep everything rolling forward without having to take breaks when things start going wrong and breaking down. I can replace them, you know, as soon as is humanly possible because of all these people at the bottom of the screen. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. And we do have some donators that attend the live streams. I always say that you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. Maybe hitting a thumbs up, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. Subscribing as well. You can always do that. Hit that notification bell. But there are people that donate as well. So I do put up on the screen the percentages just in case you can't resist. Between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link in the description below. That's where you can find that if you want to do things that way. But as I said, just spending a bit of time with me is great. And I don't even know actually when Valentine's Day is, whether it's been and gone, because it's not something that's at the forefront of my calendar at the moment, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm lucky or unlucky, probably unlucky, but I have a lot of stuff to be getting on with. So yeah, I'm not sure when Valentine's Day is, or maybe it's today or yesterday, and it was yesterday, you know, here, or maybe in the USA it's today. I don't know. Maybe somebody can let me know in the live chat room so I actually know which day it is. So I will, look out for it. Anyway, let's mention about what's coming up on tonight's live stream. It's going to be more of the usual and more of the same that we have. We're going to be having a pick roulette later on, but there actually is going to be something different that we had for the first time on Saturday's live stream, where we're going to be giving away a Tumbler So look out for that. The first one was Saturday. We're going to be giving away another one tonight, and we have a special Tumbler wheel that is going to be happening. So it's going to be its own thing, and we're going to have the pick roulette, of course, so somebody can go away with the signed Wings of Pegasus pick, and maybe a t-shirt if we land on the t-shirt roulette segment, which is always the darker segments in the pick roulette. But the other thing to report on, I don't think I mentioned this well, I couldn't have mentioned it last night because I answered the email this morning. Right, so I have been approached by a company that make guitars, or the company is called Mugabe, and they make smart guitars. And I think it was like a crowdfunding thing that they started with. I think they've made about 300 guitars, something like that. But they are basically guitars that are small. I mean, there's a normal sized neck, but it's small in that you can kind of fold it away. It's got a Bluetooth speaker on there, so you don't need to plug it into an amplifier. So it's great for, you know, moving around and, you know, taking on holiday if you want to keep your practice up and all that kind of stuff. Or even if you're just traveling and you want to take a guitar with you, normally it's quite bulky and it's a bit of a nightmare, and I've certainly experienced that. But they've been in touch asking about a potential collaboration in the future. So I've answered and said, yeah, it sounds interesting. Anything that I think is quite good, then I tend to, you know, follow up with the collaboration type things. As you guys know on the channel, I don't really do advertisements or, you know, promotions for, you know, apps like computer games and all that kind of stuff, because I do get approached about that quite a lot. And I can't remember what the last one was that was to do with an app that was so ridiculously nothing to do with my channel at all, or even to do with music. It wasn't related at all, but they approached me for this collaboration. So I just replied saying, I don't think you've watched my channel. You don't know the kind of videos that I make, because it's not particularly relevant. So yeah, I think I've done maybe 2 in the past. I'm trying to remember. We had the Fender collaboration, of course, being endorsed by them, and them sending me the Fender Strat that you can see on the wall. That's the Gem, Ibanez Gem, and that's the Fender Strat there. So yeah, we had that on the channel. And then we had the Moises app. That was the other thing, which is, you know, just a great app, and I'm using that all the time myself. So we've got 2, I think just 2 videos in the history of, 4 or 5 years. So yeah, I don't usually do sponsored videos, but I'll keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon as to how things develop maybe with them, and see if, I know that in the email that they said that they wanted to send me one of their guitars, and we'll see maybe what happens in the future with that. But like I said, I'll keep you in the loop. As for videos coming up on the channel, I'm probably going to get in touch with Shirley Lewis soon about that analysis video on George Michael and Shirley, because she was singing with him in the studio on a couple of tracks, and that was Freedom and Father Figure. So I might pick one of those, get in touch with Shirley, and we'll plan that analysis video for some time in the future. So yeah, it's all still going on, just keeping on top of everything, trying to answer all the emails, keeping up with the comments. Actually, earlier this evening, I was about an hour ahead of schedule as to where I usually am on live stream days. But then before the live stream, I realised I didn't realise, and I don't think anyone has realised, apart from a comment that came through a few hours ago saying that George Michael's name in my video, I spelt it right in the title, I spelt it right in the description, but when I was typing out George Michael for the thumbnail, of course I'm looking at the keyboard, so I'm not even noticing, and because it's not like text, it's a thumbnail, so it wouldn't have corrected it. But I put the A and the E the wrong way round, and then did the thumbnail, so it meant that I had to now redo the thumbnail, so, which isn't as easy as just clicking on it and typing. You've got to actually get it into a program where you can now get rid of the George Michael that I typed previously, and I still had the old thumbnail, so I had to get that into Final Cut Pro 10 and then mask it off and type it out again and then, you know, mix it down effectively, or bounce. I always use terms that are, you know, musical terms when I'm bouncing down a project in Logic. But yeah, it meant that I had to kind of save that frame and then do that. So it actually meant that I ended up being 20 minutes behind schedule, we started the live stream on time, but as always, I'm rushing around trying to do stuff because these things that pop up at the last minute that I'm not expecting I'm going to have to do, I then have to, get a real move on with getting everything organised. But we are fine, and we do have at the top of the live chat room the vote for tonight's cover video. Unsurprisingly, it's a couple of songs with love in the title. We've got Give Me All Your Lovin' and Is This Love? So whichever one of those you want to hear later on, just click on whichever and you'll be hearing my version of that particular song later on in the live stream. But we've still got a long way to go, about an hour's worth of streaming still to go for tonight. Right, we have had a donation that came in before we went live, and this was from Paul. So thank you for this, Paul, and it was a $5 donation, and the message was, spike the likes, all y'all. Let's do the maths. Only 10k to 300k. Also, Phil's hair looks great. I'm hungry. Time for some food. Hello to Orlando sidekick, OSK, as Paul writes it. So thank you for that, Paul. And Paul was trying to predict that, saying Phil's hair looks great, predicting that it will look great. Sometimes that's not the case. Tonight's kind of okay, but I think it's the first live stream where I've really noticed that, I need another haircut because my fringes are getting actually in my eyes, but we're kind of getting away with it. So if it ever falls in a position when it's long and I can see everything, then we're winning. So tonight's fine for the hair, so thank you for that, Paul. And I know that there were some donations that came in over on PayPal as well, so thank you guys for these. Let me just go down to here because Paul Johnson donated £15.82. Thank you for that, Paul. And I think this is regarding an analysis video. And it is, even though I did say to Paul when he messaged that you don't have to make a donation to get a video made or an analysis of any particular performer, artist, band, whatever. I just put it in the comment section in YouTube and I'll just add it to the list and work my way through the list. But Paul donated anyway, so thank you for that, Paul. And the message was a request for a YouTube reaction of John Farnham's cover of the Beatles' Help live with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. This is John's version of the song and it is amazing, and I'm sure you will love doing some analysis on his outstanding vocals and his epic performance to a stadium packed with people. So thank you for that, Paul. And we had another donation after. This is actually Sunday, 7 minutes past 12. We had another donation that came in, and this is from Roseanne for £10. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And the message is, hi, Phil. In light of your recent interview with Phil Palmer, have you yourself ever wanted to be a session guitarist? Thanks and take care. So thank you for that, Roseanne. Oh, and before I answer that, I was looking on YouTube about this question and answer option thing that I tried to do in the last live stream, but I hadn't looked up how it worked. I just clicked on the button and didn't realise, that you have to select people's comments. So what happens is on the Q&A, when you type a question, it doesn't go into like a different part of the screen. I have to look into the live chat room and select somebody's question by clicking on the dots and then saying highlight question or something like that, and then it changes. So I'm gonna have to, we'll have a go at that later on in tonight's live stream and see how we get on. I don't think actually we've got any pictures tonight, so we'll see how we get on with a Q&A later on in tonight's live stream. But thank you for this, Roseanne. And no, I've never kind of had the desire to be a session guitarist. I've done a little bits, bits and bobs, a little bits of bits and bobs in the past, session-wise, but as in making that a full-time living, it's not something that I was, particularly into, just, playing other people's songs and doing things that way. I kind of wanted to do my own songs, and being a session guitarist is kind of like being an actor, that you're trying to get parts all the time. You're always chasing employment and looking for, the next opportunity. And then if that doesn't come along, then you're going to be struggling for money. And I just wasn't really into that kind of going out searching other artists to play their music. I'd rather just, stick with my own music and just see how I got on. And just, I think with your own music, because it's your own, it means that you are always going to be pushing it and doing all you can to get it out there. So, with being a session musician, that's what you then have to try and do. You've got to get yourself out there. And it's a very difficult, and, people that go to, music colleges, they will end that college course and you'll have, for every class, like 30 guitarists who are all now the same. They've all learned the same course and they've all learned effectively to play the same way. So it means that 30 other people, or 29 other people, are now looking for the same job that you're looking for. And there aren't, 29 bands all looking for the same kind of guitarist. It means that you're now in competition with everyone who's finished that particular course. So I wasn't really into that particularly. I wanted to kind of do my own thing and just be creative. So it didn't really appeal to me. But like I said, I've done bits and bobs in the past when I've been asked to, just projects, actually mostly I'd say in the past for dance music projects where they just wanted a little bit of rhythm guitar kind of low in the mix, chunky guitars going on, and little riffs, little things like that. Because nowadays with dance music, I think in the past it used to be just maybe drums, bass and synthesizers and all that kind of stuff, whereas nowadays you have drums, bass, you do have keys, guitars, you still have synthesizers in there, but you have vocals, and you don't just have the same line being repeated. More often than not, you'll have a verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, and I've done that kind of thing in the past as well, supplying lead vocals and guide vocals for a particular track that is then taken to a record label, and it's just so then the singer that is going to be releasing that song, they know how it goes, and it's given to them, and then I've done the guide vocal on it. So I have done session work in that kind of way, but as a guitarist, just like I said, bits and bobs, but not like a full-time income, just bits on the side when I used to teach. And that's, I don't know, probably 7 years ago or something. I haven't done any session work in the recent past because I've been much too busy. So anyway, thank you for that, Roseanne. And also, not just being too busy, but I'm spending my time on doing things that I want to do. And that's just fantastic because of all of the support from these lovely people at the bottom of the screen. So to give my patrons another shout out, thank you, Robert, as well, who has donated £15.82. So thank you for that, Robert. And the message was, I enjoy your stuff and want to support you as much as I can. Plus, it is hard for me to make a suggestion as I've recently done without putting a few dollars in the jar. So thank you for that, Robert. And that was another donation on Sunday, so we'll work through them. This one was on Monday morning from Amy for £5, so thank you for that, Amy. And Nicole has donated £10.08, so thank you for that, Nicole. The message is, hello Phil, hope you are well. I have a question. Is possible one day for you to do the analysis a song of Thin Lizzy, Angel of Death live, Dublin 83. I really like this very intense live. Maybe one day. Thank you, Phil. You're fantastic. Warmly. So thank you for that, Nicole. And it is possible I can add it to my list. I'm trying to think of how much Thin Lizzy I have on the channel so far. I think probably at least a few videos on Thin Lizzy. So you can check those out independently if you want to. I'm not sure whether I've looked at Angel of Death or not. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but you will find them here on the channel. Thank you for that, Nicole. And we've had another donation from Hannah for £4. So thank you for that, Hannah. And the message is, Happy Valentine's taken the L from Valentine's there and put it in happy for some reason. So happy Valentine's and finish Friends Day. What makes life and love sustainable? Is it music? Hannah. So thank you for that. And interesting question. Well, technically, what makes life sustainable is, well, at a fundamental level, it'll be food and water. You definitely need that. But going all the way back, the sun, I think, and the distance we are from it. That's what makes life sustainable and kind of possible in the first place. As for life and love sustainable, I don't really know what makes love sustainable, because it's, how do you define what that is? I mean, unless you've, kind of been there and you've been in love and you've made it last for a very long time, it's something that I don't have experience of, so I can't really answer that question. But I think music definitely helps to bring people together, and that's all part of the same kind of thing. So it can play a big part of it in order for, I think, humans to be able to just share a common ground and get together. I still think that in 2023, by now we should have figured out how to get along as a race of humans, but unfortunately, we live in a time where some people still can't figure that out, which is very frustrating for the people that have figured it out. It's almost going back to the days where we just weren't civilized at all, and the less time we spend talking about all that kind of stuff, the better. But hopefully in the future, at some point, humans will realize that there's a lot bigger things going on than, just trying to get rid of each other on the planet. I mean, it is actually crazy to think that these kinds of things are going on in 2023. But anyway, thank you for that, Hannah. More music, get it out there, spread the love as much as possible, and realise that we are all in this together. So Dawn has donated £39 and 12 pence as well. So thank you for that, Dawn. And the message is, hi Phil, since I don't have a Valentine to spend money on this year, I decided to give this to you. Buy yourself some more chocolate or something. Happy Valentine's Day. So thank you for that, Dawn. And I mean, that is a lot of chocolate for £39 and 12 pence. So I'll have to think of something that I can spend that money on. But what I have been getting into recently is popcorn. But I was getting into, first of all, salted popcorn. I don't think I used to like it, or I had salted popcorn before, but I think when I had it, it was just way too salty. It was like they just emptied a whole jug on it. So as soon as you just had one piece of popcorn, it was like, oh, this is too salty. So anyway, I then, got back into sweet popcorn, which I liked. And now I found some popcorn at the shops that is lightly salted, and that I really like. So I'm getting into popcorn, salted popcorn. But then I had some butter-kissed sweet popcorn. We're talking about food again. That you put in the microwave, and it just takes a couple of minutes just under. You've got to listen out for the pops to see how many pops there are and the distance of time between a pop. And if it's 2 seconds, then that means it's done. I don't know how you figure that out, because sometimes I'm listening for the pops and it seems like they're popping all the time. But anyway, so I've had some of that sweet popcorn, and that was really nice. So I went to the shops again to buy some more, and guess what? They didn't have any. They had sweet and salted popcorn. So I thought, oh, well, I'll try this. And it turns out somehow sweet and salted popcorn all in the same packet is really nice. And I don't know how that works out, but I guess, that's just one of those sweet and savoury things that when they're put together, I like the taste of it. So I will be buying those again. And the good news is I've got 2 bags of those left, because I had the first one, a couple of nights ago. The only bad part is, and I think everyone will be able to relate to this, if you're eating popcorn, you're watching TV, you're not really noticing where the popcorn's going. So you have little bits of popcorn stuck all over you. It actually looks like you're having a really bad hair day with kind of all this, all these little white specks on hoodies, as I usually wear during the day. So if I make an analysis video and I've got bits of white all over me, like tiny little dots. You know exactly what I've been eating. I've been, scoffing some popcorn. But anyway, thank you for that, Dawn. I will buy chocolate and I'll buy some popcorn as well with that. Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi, Phil. Happy Valentine's Day to you and all the lovely wingers. Thank you for all you do for your channel and for us. We appreciate you. So thank you for that, Tammy. And everyone have a great Valentine's Day in that live chat room. And I can see that we have had a bit of a spike of the likes going on. We are aiming for what, 93 is that? 93 more thumbs up before the end of the live stream. So maybe we can get a little spike of the lights going on. 93. That's not too many to go, I don't think. Even if that math is correct. Hopefully it is. Fingers crossed. Again, just a number that popped into my head, but I think that's right. So thank you, Steve, as well, who has donated £5. And the message is, when I was young, I'll tell you what, let me get this up on screen because it's more of a recent donation. We're getting closer to being up to date. This is 12 minutes past 11 earlier this evening. Just going to scroll down. When I was young, bands just came out and played. Now you expect a show. Who are your favourite show bands? Mine are early Genesis, Yes, and Alice Cooper. So thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, you've already kind of mentioned one that I would have mentioned, which is Alice Cooper, of course. Because, I mean, he's one of those guys that started doing it, really early on. And I guess brought along the whole shock rock thing, of putting on shows and putting on shocking shows, even though I think he started to kind of push the boat out more and more and more. So, you couldn't really be shocked anymore once you'd kind of seen it, but he's really good at that, just kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit more each time with every live show. So, as well as combining it with good music, you've got to have that. You can't just put on a show and have rubbish music because then people wouldn't be that interested in it. So he had that combination of having these great shows and having great songs as well. So he's definitely the master of that. And with the more prog rock kind of things, I would say that a lot of the show is kind of intertwined with the music, because when you get progressive bands, they'll have light shows and shows that are set, and Rush were good at this as well. They had their light shows just paired up with their progressive elements that they have. Say, for example, they have a time signature, and that time signature changes throughout the song. They'll have the lights kicking off at exactly the right time to follow the time signature and where the changes happen. So, it started to be more of that kind of light show that you'd get. That, again, it's just part of the music. It became this living, breathing thing that, the heartbeat of the music you could see with the lighting, and then obviously, dry ice and everything else that would kick off. And sometimes just the mist, and not even dry ice, but smoke machines, so that eventually obliterates the whole stage. You can't see anybody anymore, but that then makes it good for lasers, because then you can see where the lasers go across the stage, and all programmed with the music being played. So that's just something about those kinds of bands. I mean, getting more mainstream, I think that in the mainstream, like pop artists, especially Michael Jackson, I mean, his live shows were all about dancing. And, you can say about Prince as well. His live shows, he didn't do, he'd have dancers who would be doing dance routines, but he didn't kind of get into the dancing thing, but he put on a hell of a show, going around the stage, playing his guitar, and made the playing of the guitar part of the show. So you've got to kind of throw who I'd consider more mainstream artists in there, like Michael Jackson. And I know that a lot of people would consider Prince one of those artists who was just top level technically, and multi-instrumentalist, and was just a fantastic musician, artist, you name it. But he got thrown into, as I've said in the UK, he got thrown into that kind of pop bracket with Michael Jackson, which is, now with hindsight looking back, you think, what, especially seeing some of his guitar playing, that you think, I think over in the USA he was seen differently, but certainly here in the UK, he wasn't really known for his level of musicianship and artistry and all of the stuff that he should have been focused on, that I would say was probably a lot different to Michael Jackson. I'm not sure why they got paired together, but I think that's just something that the media tended to do. But in terms of a show, Michael Jackson, his This Is It tour that unfortunately never happened, but you could see that in some of the rehearsals that was going to be a major show, the amount of work that he was putting into that. And sadly, it never came to fruition, didn't happen. But these kinds of artists, and I think more mainstream pop artists as well, they really do put on a show. And when you're talking about artists that might not necessarily even sing live, obviously the main thing about them, they've got to put on a show because they're not actually doing the vocal. So they've got to keep that interest going. I would say that actually, I know this is a really long answer to the question, but Tina Turner was one of those artists that, back in the day, obviously fantastic vocalist, great on stage energy, and started to, for me, take that performance to a different level. The amount of energy and dancing and interacting with her backing singers, they'd all be doing the same dance, should be all over the stage and actually singing live at the same time. So that's, I think, where things changed with the more modern day kind of touring artist in the mainstream charts. Back in the day, artists like Tina Turner, they were singing as well as doing all of these dance routines. Massively impressive stuff. So Tina Turner, I'll throw her in there as well. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. And let's move on to the next donation. Denise has donated £50, so thank you for that, Denise. And that is a straight up donation without a message, so thank you for that. And Karen is back in the house and has donated £3.13. So thank you for that, Karen. And let me just scroll down to see what the message is. Hi Phil, just curious, have you ever done an analysis of Tiny Tim singing with and or without falsetto? I hope to catch up on what I've missed here. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And not that I can remember, I don't think I've done an analysis video on Tiny Tim. So that's going to have to be one of those that I add to the list. But thank you for that, Karen. And Karen, now Karen with a K, has donated £10. Again, thank you for that, Karen. The message is Happy Valentine's. So thank you, Karen. And the reason that Karen's name actually stands out, I did mention about me being slightly behind schedule starting tonight's live stream, and Karen has become a patron over on Patreon recently, so I was typing in Karen's name, adding it to the list. At the end of this list, you'll see Karen's name, so that's another thing that I was trying to organise, as well as doing the thumbnail for that George Michael video. But we got there in the end. Thank you for that, Karen, and for becoming a patron of mine over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. Maria has donated £1.56. Thank you for that, Maria. The message is, Hi Phil, Valentine's Day was yesterday for you. 2/14, which is 14/2 here in the UK, which is the 14th of February. So thank you for that information. Happy Valentine's Day, Phil. And everyone spike those likes. So thank you, Maria. Great idea as well. If you get that thumbs up, be much appreciated. We're looking for 58 more people in the live chat room to hit that thumbs up to get ourselves to the Pick Roulette likes goal, which means we're going to have a Pick Roulette next week. But we still have another donation. Orlando is in the house, has donated £2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, hello, fellow wingers. I am still around and have not gone anywhere. Thank you for picking up the slack, Paul. Spike the likes, plug that mug. Much love. Enjoy the live stream. Rock, Orlando. So thank you for that, Orlando. And let's get a plug of the mug. Let's lean over, and we have the live stream Tuesday mug for tonight, of course, because it's live stream Tuesday. And we have Spike the Likes. So if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, click on the tray underneath this video. If you haven't got a tray underneath this video, there's a link to spring.com and that will take you straight through to the store. You can see the hoodies and the mugs, the t-shirts, the caps, the tumblers, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to head over to wingsofpegasus.com/merch, then you'll find Carla's merchandise over there, which includes the guitar picks, earrings, necklaces, and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for that, Orlando. Let me go to the next one. And Kim has donated £15. Thank you for that, Kim. The message is, let's have a quick scroll down. Hi Phil, I saw a question in the live stream a moment ago from someone who noted that there seems to be a push on your version of More Than Words, and the questioner wondered if you know why there seems to be a push on it. My question is, what does a push mean? Yes, I'm really asking that, haha. Also, can you answer the original question, please? Thank you and best wishes, Kim. So thank you for that, Kim, and I have no idea what goes on with the videos. I'm not sure. I haven't heard it being called a push before, but I'm assuming what that means is that for some reason a video gets suggested to people more than it normally does. But I don't know if that's true, and I don't know why that would be happening for More Than Words. So yes, I'm not sure. I think maybe if some people have watched some videos of Extreme performing live or something, maybe the algorithm finds cover versions of songs. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know why it would be, or even if that's what a push is. Maybe somebody knows in the live chat room. But I mean, as with all of my videos, I pretty much just make them and they're on the channel there, and then if YouTube wants to push them, if that's what it means for me, then great. But generally it's just subscribers watching the videos, and occasionally there will be a video that gets out there a little bit more, but I don't, because I do so many videos, I don't really keep track of a video, say for example, that I've done a week ago. I don't know how they're performing. I just literally get a request, make the video for that request, release it. If people like it, then great. And yeah, if people don't like it, then it's just made for the person that made the request. So that's how I've always approached it, really. So thank you for that, Kim. And yeah, sorry, I don't really know the answer to that, or why a particular video gets pushed or promoted, if that's the same thing. But thank you, Kim, as well. Have I already clicked? Okay, yeah, it did go. And this is £10 this time. So it's Kim donating again. So I'm not having deja vu. Thank you for that, Kim. And the message is, hi, Phil. This is for you to pick yourself up some more fruity flapjack cookies and or whatever other treats you would like. Happy Valentine's Day, February 14th. Big hugs from Canada, Kim. So thank you for that, Kim. And yeah, the fruity flapjack cookies, that's one of those things that I am going to have to start making a fund for, because yeah, I had 2 of them tonight. They're definitely my favourite biscuit, certainly of the current moment, but maybe of all time that I've had. It's just something about the mix of fruit that's in there with the oatiness and the flapjack. And I don't know how they make the flapjacks, but they're all butter flapjacks. So it means that they're held together somehow with butter. They must melt the butter and then make it cold so that it solidifies. Anyway, very nice biscuits indeed. So thank you for that, Kim. Definitely going in my fruity flapjack jar that I will I mean, that's certainly enough to get some. I could get a few packets with that. That would last me quite a long time. So thank you for that, Kim. Orlando has donated £2. Thank you for that, Orlando. Again, the message is, I can recall an Alice Cooper interview where he states he met with several people or prospective bands looking for a record deal presenting a lot substance and imagery. His main question, where's the song? His main advice, you're angry, I get it, write it. Would you give other aspiring musicians the same advice? So thank you for that, Orlando. I'm going to have to read that again because I didn't really understand what that meant. Right, Alice Cooper states he met with several people or prospective bands looking for a record deal, presenting a lot of substance and imagery. His main question, where's the song? His main advice, you're angry, I get it, write it. Would you give... Okay, so I'm still not really sure of the advice. Maybe it's along the lines of, you've got to have more than just an image and more than just a show. You've got to have good songs. And if you don't have those, then, yeah, you're not... the music industry is about the music, fundamentally. So you've got to write good music in order to, have a career, for people to even listen to it. But for it to be played on the radio, because back when Alice Cooper started, it was just radio. That was the whole point of getting exposure, was to get your songs on there. So if you were all about the show, then you wouldn't get anywhere, because the radio doesn't give you a show, it just gives you the sound. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think what's maybe throwing me off is, you're angry, I get it, write it. I'm not sure what that quote means. So my advice would be, you've got to write something that, I don't know, it is, I say catchy, but it's just got to be musical. It's got to be melodic. And if you're not listening to yourself either sing or play the guitar, you're not recording it and listening to it back in order to judge kind of where you are, not only technically, but from a writing perspective, then you're probably not going to do too well, because you've got to be self-aware. And this is something that a lot of people aren't. And I would say that a lot of people that go on the TV talent shows and they sing, they've never objectively listened to their voice, listened to it back, and compared it with other singers, and maybe even done an analysis of their voice, with a pitch monitoring app such as I use in the analysis videos. They've never really done that to their own voice, so they're not being objective about their own voice, they're just being subjective, thinking that they can sing really well. Or maybe family members have told them that they've got a really good voice, but you've got to go outside of your family, because so sometimes, unfortunately, they think that anything that you do is going to be great because they're family, or they don't have... I was going to say, they don't have the guts to tell you that... you're not very good, because they are family and they don't want to hurt your feelings. So you've got to be objective about it. So I think I would throw that in there as advice, but probably very similar to Alice Cooper. If you want to get advice from somewhere and someone, then Alice is definitely a good place to go and an authority on such matters. So yes, I would agree with that advice. It can't just all be about the show. You've got to write some decent melodic tunes at some point. So thank you for that. And just going to scroll to the next one, because Laura has donated £10. Thank you for that, Laura. And the message is... scroll down. I can't wait to hear your opinion of the smart guitar. I've seen it on the internet and it's really different. So thank you for that, Laura. And we'll see what we can work out. They've asked me if I'm interested in doing it, and I have said, actually just earlier tonight I've answered the email, so I'll see when they get back to me. But we might have to have some kind of back and forth. They've got to mention to me what they'd like me to do and all that kind of stuff. But it would be cool to get it on the channel. And I mean, the one thing that I did see about the design of it is, because it is so minimal and kind of the sides, you can take those apart and you can actually take them off. I was wondering where, if you are practicing, even with the side sections on, so you can rest it like the normal body of a guitar, you can't anchor your hand on it. So I'd be interested to see how that affects playability with it. And it's something that the video that they gave to me of somebody else reviewing it, he didn't go into that. He didn't go about playability from an anchoring point of view with the right hand, because that's something that does sometimes tend to happen if you are playing more kind of technical pieces. Sometimes playing fingerstyle, people like to anchor on the body of the guitar with the little finger. So it would be interesting, but I'll let you guys know, of course, on the live streams. But if you want to stay up to date, head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. As I always say, that's where I do the updates. I am on there every night, and I do post updates on the admin days, as well as doing the analysis videos. I always post to the Patreon page for the analysis videos. Anyway, it is 10 to 1 here in the morning. We're going to have to move things along with tonight's live stream. Thank you guys for the very kind donations. And, just quickly, Pam donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Pam. The message is, what's the next piece of equipment you want for your studio? And, okay, things for the studio. Actually, things for this room, because, you know, I'm still in the process of setting up everything here. It's taking ages, but it's because there's always another thing to do. I always approached it with the emphasis being on me just doing the videos, getting the analysis videos, getting everything wired up so we can hear it, hear my voice, hear the guitar all at the same time. But something that I'd like to get is a stand for the other mic, so that when I mic up the other, actually, I mean, I would ideally get another condenser mic so that I can have that as a designated microphone for my other amplifier, so that I can switch between the Fender amp and the Line 6 amp just here at the screen, rather than having to, you know, set things up and, you know, take the microphone from one amp to another amp. So in order to do that, I would obviously, you know, have that set up. So I need a little stand, which is something that I'd like to get for the other amplifier. And once I've got that, I think I've probably got an XLR lead that's going to be long enough. But I do like to keep things neat, so it means that I need to get something that goes along the skirting board of the room where the wiring goes into, and get that going into, you know, behind the computer, behind my interface, and get that all wired in. So that's probably what I'd like to do next. But because everything's working, and I'm just, if I do need to go over to the amp for any particular reason, I just literally walk over there and just take the mic and just set up another XLR lead, so that I've got just the microphone that I'm walking over to the other side of the room with. I just plug it in. So yeah, I'd probably get another condenser mic for the other amplifier. I'm just thinking of other stuff that I'd need. This is something that has been mentioned by Carla about, you know, a chair for the studio. I know that I'm on this I don't know whether you can hear that, but it's a really creaky wooden chair. But the good thing is about it, that it hasn't got any arms, so it means that I can play guitar and just, you know, grab it and play. So I have been, and I haven't mentioned this to Carla yet, but I have been looking at chairs, because Carla's been suggesting chairs, but I have been looking at them. I did very quickly, and I think there was one where it did have an armrest to it, but you could fold it back. So I'd have to see, but I'm thinking, because my elbows now are behind the chair, so I'd have to think, because reaching back like this, if the armrests were folded back, I'd still hit into it as I went. I'm going to have to look at the design in a little bit more detail. But yeah, that's something for my list to get for the studio as well. But yeah, there are always things to get, always things to do. So thank you for that, Pam. Nalita has donated $10 as well. So thank you for that, Nalita. The message is, since it is Valentine's Day, what is your favourite love song / ballad, and why would you choose that particular song? Okay, I'm not sure. I mean, there are so many great ballads, but I'm going to have to go with... I'm not sure. I was going to say... I'll have to say Headed for a Heartbreak is one of those songs from Winger that, I really like the song. It's probably one of my favourite ballad songs, but in relation to Valentine's Day, I'm not sure. It's entirely relevant because, as the title, Headed for a Heartbreak, so it's something that's going to go wrong. So yeah, but that's just the first song that popped into my mind. So yeah, you can go and check that out. I'm sure a lot of people, probably haven't heard that song, unless you're into hard rock and Winger. That's a song that I do like quite a lot. Anyway, yes, thank you for that, Nalita. And I can see that Help Save the Music has donated $9.99. So thank you for that. And the message is, Hey Phil, do you know that David Cassidy is trending at number 14 on Twitter today because of your video analysis of his song Lying to Myself? So thank you for that. And no, I didn't know that. I'm not sure whether it's directly related to the video that I did, but you know, if it is, great. And yeah, thank you for letting me know. And yeah, if you guys want to check out that video on David Cassidy, it is on the channel here somewhere. So yeah, you can check that out. And one thing that I have just noticed is, I'm not sure whether this is that, you can tell that I'm getting, oh, is it gone? I had a bit of, I'm not sure if it's there anymore. I had a bit of white hair. I do get these little bits of white hair. Obviously, yeah, I am getting old. But if I then move my hair in a particular direction, it gets covered by the hair that's darker. So I think it might have just disappeared a little bit. But I'm sure there's a little bit of white hair going on there. And that's another thing about Kip Winger. When he started to get white hairs, some people get this where it's all in one kind of section of their head that it's just, I don't know how many hairs, but it tends to be just this collection of hairs. And yeah, I mean, it looks really cool, especially with Kip, because it's almost like you've bleached that part of your hair white. So yeah, I mean, Kip is such a cool looking guy that yeah, when he started to get the white hairs or the grey hairs, even that looked cool on him. So yeah, that's something that I know that sometimes that I've seen when I've got this little bit at the back of my head here that when I look forward, it's this kind of thing that I've just got these white hairs that are in that very particular part of my head. So I don't know what you do about that unless you just get like a paintbrush and paint it brown, or just put some dye on some, you know, just a paintbrush and paint it. So yeah, anyway, just something that I noticed because the camera is staying light at the moment. Sometimes when it goes dark, then you don't actually see the difference in the hair colour. It just goes all pretty much black. So anyway, let's stop talking about hair. So let's jump into tonight's cover video, and let me bring this to an end. It is probably going to be Give Me All Your Lovin', which is what it's saying, 54% of the vote and 317 votes. Thank you guys for that. And by the way, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. 344, we're looking for 16 people to hit that thumbs up before the end of the live stream to have a pick roulette next week. But I can see that it is going to be a little bit of ZZ Top, my version of their classic Give Me All Your Lovin'. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock! And I'm just going to jump in because I thought it wasn't going to work, because some of them haven't been working, but then it did start working, but there's a fade out. So that's what's been throwing me off. So I clicked on it, it didn't start, but now we're ready for the fade out. I'll hold the rock a little bit longer. So I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
What
And there we have it. Oh, that was really well timed with the fade out. I think I was about to say at the end of that video, the usual thing that I say about thank you for watching the video, all that kind of stuff. But we are at 1 minute past 1 here in the morning, so we need to be moving things along swiftly. We are going to be jumping into the pick roulette for tonight. But before we do, Orlando donated £2. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was, I can see it's going to be a long one. I guess Alice Cooper saw too much acting and not enough music with these groups. If you are angry, write the how, why and what instead of only being a big show. Express your ideas through the music and not just the show. Anyway, Alice is a tremendous showman, but people, even non-fans, remember his music like School's Out, I'm 18 and $1 Billion Babies from the 1970s. A 1980s kid like me enjoys songs like Poison and House of Fire. My apologies for the poor wording of my previous donation. You answered perfectly. Thank you. Thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. And I'm glad that I answered the question in a relatively correct manner. But Diane has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Diane. And just going to quickly scroll down the messages. Put this towards anything you need, Phil. Happy Valentine's Day. So thank you for that. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Right, let's jump into tonight's pick roulette, where we're going to be having the pick roulette, of course, and the Tumbler roulette, and maybe a t-shirt roulette. So let's see what happens, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. So the darker segments are the t-shirts. If we land on one of those, then we're going to have a t-shirt roulette. But this is for the Wings of Pegasus signed pick. I haven't asked for a top tip yet, so I'm not sure whether I can delay this in order to give you guys time to have your top tip requests in the live chat room. I'm just having a quick look in there, and if I don't get anybody within the next 5 seconds, we're just going to spin it, or I'll pick somebody at random. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there's nobody in there. Right, so let me pick somebody. SA from NC is going to be the top tip for tonight. SA from what was it? I've forgotten what it was. SA from NC, was it? Anyway, so SA from NC it was. Great. Trust me to pick one that I can't even remember. Right, let's give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win. And I can see people are now saying pick me in the live chat room, but yeah, unfortunately I left it a little bit too late to ask. But there's always another pick roulette happening on the next live stream, if we hit the pick roulette lights goal, of course. So we are slowing down. Where are we? Yeah, I'm looking for SA from NC, but they're not to be seen. Right, we are slowing down. It's going to be what, D, maybe John? Or is it going to get as far? No, it's got to stop at John, surely. And there it is. So John is the winner tonight. Congratulations to you, John. You have won a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So if you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that she can get everything that she needs from you in order to send you that signed Wings of Pegasus pick. And commiserations to everybody else, including SA from NC. As I always say, double your chances of winning by tuning in on a Tuesday and a Saturday. The live streams happen at 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So, quick shout out to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook as well. If you are a Facebook user, head over there, because that's where Bob hosts the after party, and you can get involved, continue the conversation over on that page if you are a Facebook user. So, yes, well done, John. Let's bring ourselves back to... I was going to say back to reality, and here we are, still in the same room. Everything's fine, and even better than fine, because we have reached the pick roulette lights goal. We are at 372 likes, and we were aiming for 360. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. If you're watching this in the future on catch up, then you can hit that thumbs up. It all really does help the channel to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole. So yes, looking at you guys in the catch-up crew. Right, so the entries are open for next week's Pick Roulette, and this is what we want to do. Type at Carla Murray, and then I agree, like that. So yeah, entries are now open for next week's Pick Roulette next Tuesday, and you're gonna have to copy what I've done in the live chat room. You'll see it going through there in a second, or you'll just see it in your version of the live chat room. Make sure that you tag Carla in your comment and type I agree, and then your name will be on next week's Pick Roulette wheel. So right, where are we? 7 minutes past 1. We're going to be jumping into a Phil Jam because I know that I think we're almost at the end of the list of the tracks that Joe's sent my way, and we are into the hard rock versions of the tracks. So I have got the message over here. The second one, I think, did we... Oh, it goes straight into it. Oh, and we have... Oh, this is a 80s hard rock backing track in E minor. And this is coming from Root backing tracks. And that's spelt Root. ROOT. And then backing tracks. So, yeah, that's the channel. Check that out if you want to. And, yeah, we've got a guy tapping on his guitar. Technically, he's not... Well, it's probably just a stock picture, but technically he's not tapping any E minor. But anyway, let me... Actually, oh, it's going to be... We'll go for the gem, because the gem is plugged in, and a little bit more... Oh, we've gone dark with the screen. Never mind. It's a little bit more appropriate to have the gem for a little bit of hard rock. So, yes. Oh, how long is... It's 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Okay, right, so this is going to be a short one for tonight for this jam track. And yeah, I'm just checking that that's all ready to go. I think it is. Hopefully the levels will be okay. And, oh, I didn't even do the Tumbler roulette. So thank you, Barbara, for reminding me of that. Let's have a very quick detour, and I'll see you guys in a second again, because we need to give away a tumbler. So, back in a minute, rock. So let's get the wheel on screen for the tumbler. There it is. And we're going to give the wheel a spin and see who's going to win the tumbler for tonight. So thank you for that reminder. A sudden jump back into the Pick Roulette. But we will see what happens. I think the thing is I can't hear it through my screen, unfortunately, the backing music, because I might be able to play along, but I can't remember what I did for the roulette. It was like a riff that I played, but I can't remember what it was. Right, we are slowing down. Actually, I kind of remember what it was. Can't remember what key I did it in though. Right, Calvin, or is it going to be Alison? And it is Alison who is the winner of the tumbler. So congratulations to you, Alison. If you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that she can get everything that she needs from you to send you that tumbler. So yeah, congratulations to you, commiserations to everybody else. And right, let's get back to reality again. So yes, Alison is the winner. So we're looking for Alison J in that live chat room. And oh, there we go. Alison J says woohoo. So congratulations to you. And let me just get myself organized, get that out of the way, make sure that this is plugged in and all fine. So yes, congratulations, Alison. And you guys can still enter in for next week's Pick Roulette. Type I agree and tag Carla in your post. Right, I tell you, we know that this is in E minor, so because we know that, I'm just going to jump straight in with a bend. So, actually, I say that, I've got to make sure I can actually hear the backing track first. trying to hear it a bit more clearly. What's happening? Is that it? That's it. Oh, yeah. I mean, a very short backing track there. That's a shame because that was actually really cool. It had a kind of Rock You 4 type vibe to it, and yeah, I should have probably done some. Oh, it's 1:15. Let me just have a quick. I'm just gonna have a quick listen to that again. Just take it back a little bit. Because kind of while you're playing, because there was that change there, I thought it might change again a little bit further. I'm going to do the tapping that is in the picture of this. What's he doing? Hang on, he's down here. So that's what the picture's showing. So I said it's not in E minor. harmonics at the end as well. And the end again. But yeah, I mean, that backing track, that could do with going on for what, about 15 minutes, because there's actually a little bit of, you know, progression going on. It's not just, you know, straight E minor and just a few chords. We have a little bit of a change in there, which is good. We have had longer backing tracks that don't have as many changes. So yeah, you just have the same progression, kind of very, very interesting 4 minutes there. Anyway, thank you for tuning in for tonight's live stream, and I just want to make sure that we're up to date with everything. I think we are. Get Some J donated $10 and said, for finally picking up my favourite guitar. So thank you for that. And yes, we're going to be live streaming again, of course, on Saturday night. So tune in then if you are available. Hopefully I'll see you it's going to be Saturday night, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, as you all know. But if this is your first live stream, look out for that on Saturdays and Tuesdays. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one as well. Huge shout out to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job in that live chat room. So I will see you guys tomorrow night, and as I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live in, but have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!